Sky Data Labs, and today we are going to do a web development tutorial whereby we are going to encrypt and decrypt numbers, or we can say maybe items such as ID or a value which is a number that is in the base 10 domain or the base 10 format. That's the normal numbers that we have. So the first thing that we are going to do is to go through the functions, whereby we will be having two functions. The first one is for encryption and the next function is for decryption. Basically the decryption is doing the reverse of encryption. So the first thing that we're going to do is obtain the number that is passed through the function, the encrypt function, and you have assigned it a variable str. Then we are going to generate a encryption key, which can be any characters or any set of characters, such as letters, numbers, and even symbols. Then after that we are going to convert the value that we have gotten from the function from base 10 to base 36. You can even convert from base 10 to base 16, that is hexagonal, or to base 8, that is octal, or to base 2, that is binary. Then after that you're going to use the encrypt function in PHP on the value that you have gotten from the conversion. Then the encrypt function takes in three values. The first one is the cipher. Then after the cipher we have the key, or the encrypt key. Then after that we get the data on which the encryption will be carried on, and then the mode of encryption. In our case it is encrypt mode stream. It can be ECB, CFB, CBC. There are other different types of encrypt mode. Then after that we are going to take the value that we have gotten from the encrypt function and do a base 64 encode on it. Then replace any equal sign on it with the blank value. Then we return the encoded value, which be the encrypted value. Then for the decryption, we'll take the value which has been encoded and run it through the function. So we'll receive the encoded value, then generate a crypt key, which should be the same key that was used for the encryption. Then the first thing that you're going to do is the opposite of base 64 encode, which is base 64 decode, whereby you're going to decode the string or the value that we have with double equal marks at the end, where we'll append the double equal marks to the string, to the value. Then after that you're going to do again the encrypt function, whereby you're going to use the same cipher for encryption. Then we are going to use the same key. Then we'll get the value that we have decoded, and we're going to use the encrypt mode as stream. Then after that you're going to decode the value that you have gotten from the encrypt function and convert it back to base 10 from base 36. Actually, basically the base convert takes three values: the string that is to be, or the value that is to be encrypted, that is to be converted, that is the number, then the integer, that is the from base 36 to base 10, or from base 2 to base 10, or from base 10 to base 8. Actually the bases range from 2 to 36. Then you're going to return the decoded value. The next page we are going to look at an example whereby we are going to encrypt these two values, which are the original values. Then you are going to return the encrypted value, then do the encryption, the decryption on the encrypted value, and return the original values. This is the function, which is the same as the one that we had used earlier, whereby you have the function for encryption. Then after that we have a function for the decryption. Then here we have the values. Then the first thing that you're going to do is do the encryption on the value and the decryption of this first value. Then you're going to encrypt the ID and then decrypt the encrypted ID. So in the original values we just are echoing back the value that we have here, this first value and this ID, which are being echoed here. Then after that you are going to return the encrypted values. So we are going to encrypt this value. You can return actually as e underscore. So we are going to return the encrypted value. This is the encrypted value for our first value here, and the encrypted ID will be this one here, SW, for number 10. Then after that you're going to decrypt these values back, whereby for the decryption we take the encrypted value and use the decrypt function on it. So by decrypting this value we get back our original value, and by decrypting this ID we get back our original ID. So we can actually externalize these two functions in a different PHP script and then use it by including it in every document and using it in a number of documents, such that we will be referencing it once and then using it in that document, and it can enable us to make only one change to it and be able to reflect in a number of documents. More detailed example is given and shown on a screen, whereby we are getting a number of blogs, and this blog number is actually the blog ID in our database. So we are getting the blogs from the database, and these are the blog IDs, but the link, you are not using the ID, but you are using the encrypted value of that ID. Then you are going to decrypt it when one opens the blog, and you are going to decrypt the ID, then get the blog, then fetch the blog values. So the first thing that you are going to do in this example is to include the encrypt and decrypt function, which you have externalized in a separate document. Then we fetch, or we get the blogs from our database, and then we get the blog ID and the blog title. Then the blog ID, for the blog number we just echo the blog ID. Then for the link we just put the encrypted value of the blog ID, and the link will be on the blog title. Then for the decrypted part, we also have the include ones by including the externalized encrypt and decrypt function. Then you are going to get the variable that is being passed through the link, that is the ID, which is encrypted. Then the first thing that you're going to do is to decrypt it, and then after decrypting it, we get a variable which you have named B as $b. Then using that variable, we are going to get the values of a particular blog, which is the ID, the title, and the body, and are going to echo those values within the body of the blog. So the practical example can be seen here. Hereby we are having a number of blogs, each with a different ID, from ID 1 to ID 22, but we have skipped some IDs. So when you click the first item, the encrypted value is BG, that is for ID number 1, and you get back the values of that particular blog with an ID of 1. If we go to, let's say, blog 4, we get to say that blog 4 has an ID of AW. Then this is the blog number, and the blog content is as shown below. So we can ascertain that our code is working correctly. Yeah. So we can also try and do for an original script on the encrypted and the decrypted values. We can try and use different bases, but we'll maintain the original base as base 10, because the numbers that are in decimal form are usually in base 10. For base 2 is for binary form, base 8 for example is octal, base 16 is hexadecimal. So we can try and use maybe say like octal, and you see the result that it gives us. So these are the values that we get from encrypting and decrypting by converting the values that have been encrypted to octal values, and decrypting from octal to back to decimal values. If you use the base 2 or binary values, you'll get a much longer string, and you can try and see. So we see that an ID of 10, it will be encrypted to a much longer string, which is made up of 6 characters, and the initial value of 122, 119 will be encrypted also to a much longer value. You can use the 16, which is for hexadecimal, and the ID it remains the same, that is for 10. It will be the same as the one that we used for base 36, but the encrypted value for 122, 119 will be a bit different. So let's return back to base 36, which is the highest base that one can encrypt to. So For the base.6 we get a different value and a different value for ID. Thank you. I hope that you have learned a lot, and I hope that this tutorial will be helpful to you. I will upload these files onto skeletalabs.co.ke website, and I hope that you will keep abreast with us so as to receive new video tutorials that will be releasing. Thank you.